I'm going to come over and say level 2. This is Wayne Johnson, and Wayne is a charter member of the club. This is August the 14th, 2012. We have a series of what we hope to be as standard questions, and I'm going to read them just to try it. And since this is our very first take, we don't know how this is all going to come out.
Right.
So I'm hoping that it does. So let me try the first one.
Okay.
You're a charter member.
I am a charter member.
What was the reason that you and others started this club? And can you please discuss the challenges and the path that was followed to begin the club? There are more questions that I'll ask, but that's the type of question we want to have. And we're starting this with the oldest in Rotary service here in Sun Lakes. This club was chartered in 1986.
April 22nd.
April 22nd, 1986. And there's the banner behind us. A lot of history here. So I'm going to step out of the picture and give it to Wayne. So, Wayne, tell us what you did in getting this club started.
All right. As you say, I am a charter member and helped start the club. I moved here in early May of 1985 after buying a house here in about February or March. And when I was walking around after I moved here, I noticed a little 3x5 card on the bulletin board that said, call this number if you're interested in starting a Rotary Club in Sun Lakes. And I did, and a fellow by the name of Andre Felix answered the call, answered the phone, and we got together. He lived down here in Chandler. I forget the Spring Creek. He lived right over here, not too far from where I did. So we started talking, and a couple other fellows had answered him, and so we had a small committee, and we started working on getting the club organized. We seemed to be only be able to get about 20 people signed up that were sincerely interested.
Right.
We had to go back to Evanston to get a waiver because they required 25 to start a club. And they came back to us after a while and said, okay, go with 20. And we had several other situations that we had to go back and forth and negotiate with them on. One I remember was that everyone here was either retired or senior active if they were former Rotarians, and therefore there was nobody to fill a job classification that was required. And that took a month or two, and then they came back and said, okay, just be seniors. And we went back and forth for, well, it took the best part of a year to do it. And but finally we got the okay. And that's how we really got started as far as getting the club going, with a lot of exceptions.
Was there a big issue because you were not a working club, like workers that had classifications per se?
Definitely.
So what did you finally end up with as the reason you could be a Rotary Club? Your former life?
Well, the only thing I can say is that we told them what the facts of the community were.
Right.
And they debated, and I don't know how it went, but I know it went back to the Chandler Club, to the district, and back to Evanston, and each time they came back and said, okay, we'll waive it. And I don't know what their reasoning was, but we told them that's all we had down here were seniors and they're either retirees or senior actives from previous clubs.
So when you became president of the club, was there a growth, a spurt that you found, or did it just grow by growth of Sun Lakes? Let's get to the next question.
Okay,
Let's get to the next question. I'll read it.
okay.
Okay. The club provides great opportunities for service. Discuss, if you can, Wayne, how you are able to meet the challenges of life and still be involved in the Sun Lakes Rotary projects. And I get the comment of the challenges of life. In other words, that life gets in the way a lot of times in Rotary.
Right. Well,
And everybody has an issue, and as we begin to age, seems like our challenges of life get to be greater.
exactly.
So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I want to just say that I joined Rotary in Moline, Illinois back in 1956. And my work there would not let me proceed through chairs to be president because I just didn't have the time available. I did serve on the board back there a number of times, but that was it. But here, I feel a Rotarian has to allocate enough time for Rotary activities. This is the key. This will vary depending upon one's job, especially in Sun Lakes, on age, family, health, and other community activities. And I just tried to keep all this in balance. That's the only way I could do it.
Okay. Balance is a key, isn't it, huh?
That's right.
So what activities have you been involved in over the years that you did choose to become involved in? I mean, I guess that's our fourth question, or third
Right.
question.
That's four.
What activities have you been involved in over the years, and why did you choose these?
Well, the biggest activity, and everyone in the club now knows how big it is, I was chairman of the golf tournament.
Oh.
One year, and I tell you, once was enough. That is a big job. But I've been in charge of greeters forever. I set up and take down for the meetings a long time. Currently, I'm on the member retention committee, and when somebody leaves the club, I send out a survey form. Hopefully, they'll answer and tell why they did that. And I just generally work on committee functions if I'm asked, and if I can help, I try to help wherever I can. Early on, you had to do in the beginning, you had to do everything just to keep the club functioning. So.
Yes, I can see that. So, and the next question. You were an officer, and what offices have you served in here, and how long were you in those seats? As a charter member, you must have been one of the lucky few to
Yes.
get the office. Huh?
I have been president, and at the beginning I served as secretary and also as the treasurer, and on the board a few times, and usually all one-year terms, but you just had to be spread around a little bit and participate wherever it was necessary.
As the next question, what do you think your greatest accomplishment was during your tenure as the officer that you were? That I guess whatever officer you want to discuss.
Well,
Having been the president and others. Yeah.
I really don't know how great my year as president was. Maybe somebody else could tell you. But we did get everything done that we were supposed to, and I think they started the program to wipe out polio the year I was president, international.
And polio now, eradicate polio, right? Polio Plus is a big. As it
I
was.
remember that, and I did move the club, the venue, from Palo Verde to Cottonwood because the ladies' golf group over there in Palo Verde didn't like us sharing the Tuesday morning in the same room. So we got moved. I remember that. And then the other thing I remember, I think they were talking about bringing in women members while I was president, and we when we heard this, why, there was a gal that ran the local travel agency, Joan Milik, and we went out and recruited her, and good, bad, or indifferent, I think she was probably the first woman member of Rotary in the world, because we actually recruited her before they got the official okay to do it in Evanston. So
Wow, we have some history here.
we didn't know what we were doing.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing. What was her name again?
Joan Milik.
Joan Milik, huh?
She's moved from here now, but she was a good gal.
Wow. And what year were you president? Do you recall?
I am not sure. I think it was 1989 or 90, somewhere in there.
Okay. Okay. Next question is, you were a director. Again, there was some great accomplishments, I take it, that you might have had during your term of your office, and you've been a director more than once.
Yeah. I honestly cannot remember anything particular that happened, except that we were really concerned about getting more members and retaining those we had. That was an important issue the times I was director.
And doesn't that still exist today?
Yes, it does. But as the club grew, we were up over 100 for a while. Now we're back down around 85, 90, something like that.
Okay, let's say, during your next question, during your lifetime as a Sun Lakes Rotarian, can you describe the club in your words? Now, this is 1986 charter, and this is 2012. So you have the longest history in our Rotary Club. So in your own words, how would you describe the club?
Well, I can say this. The Sun Lakes Club has had a remarkable, marvelous, and almost unbelievable life and development. From absolutely nothing to what we are today. And it is the most active and productive club in this district. And that's what I can say.
That's high praise.
Yeah.
Next question. How has the Sun Lakes Rotary Club changed your life? In other words, you were a Rotarian elsewhere. Now you come here and you bring those same values here. As a retired person, how has this club changed your life?
It gave me the opportunity to associate with fine, caring people and to participate in a small way to help communities, local, national, and worldwide. That's a very positive thing, I think.
I'd say. Yeah, I'd say. So very, very positive. I have this comment. The next question is, describe your feelings that you have when you enter the Sun Lakes Rotary Club meeting room. Now, we've been through a number of meeting rooms, as you had just explained, from Palo Verde to Cottonwood to Sun Lakes 1, now over here at Oakwood. There has to have been some ups and downs, and when you come in on one day, describe those feelings to us.
Well, I always enjoy coming over and seeing and meeting and talking with the good people that make up our club, our membership, and know that they are organized and hardworking Rotarians. That gives me a good feeling.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Is that what continues to attract you to this club?
The friendship of the Rotarians, the camaraderie, and the thought that Rotary in general is doing these things locally, nationally, and worldwide. It's just a good, positive feeling.
Makes you feel good.
Yep.
This is the next question. It says, not it says, but I would like to ask, what can you tell, Wayne, prospective members and those who will see this now somewhat 20-minute tape in the future about maintaining your club membership.
There is great satisfaction in serving in Rotary because of its widespread positive influence, as I said before, locally, nationally, and worldwide. You just have to feel the strength and positiveness of an organization like this.
Okay, the last question, and I think this is an interesting question for not only for you but for others. What would you like your legacy to be to those who come into Sun Lakes Rotary 10 years from now?
Well, I can only say I'm just a guy who happened to be here at our meager beginning and saw the club grow and develop to what it is today. That's about all I can say.
That's it, yeah? Well, I think this has been an exercise that I'm very proud of you for taking the time and developing the answers to these questions, Wayne. I just know that having been a charter member, a charter president, takes a lot of work putting it all together and working with the people over the years. I know there are others in this community who were part of the original group who aren't here. And can you do you remember the names of those 2 or 3 other gentlemen who are no longer members but still live in Sun Lakes?
Well, the only living ones we have is Al Gustafson, who was in at the beginning, and Bill Anderson.
Bill Anderson.
And they're the only 2 I know that are still alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as of today, Wayne, how old are you?
I'm 84.
84. And you shot your age last week on the golf course.
Age in Cottonwood, yeah.
Well, there you go. Thanks very, very much, Wayne. I do appreciate it. And any final thoughts?
No, I think this is a good project, though, and I think to have something like this recorded historically, and there'll be other people who will be able to probably say a lot more than I did, but I think it's a good idea.
Thanks, Wayne.
Okay.
Thanks very much.